Welcome back to the channel, guys. So this is my natural hair. It is very thick. This isn't even all of it. It's very thick, it's long, it's naturally curly. This is day 2 hair. I've let it air dry completely for the last 24 hours. So this is what we're working with. I'm gonna show you guys what I do to straighten or style it. It's really long too. It comes down like almost to my waist when it's actually straightened out. So I'm using the Keratin Ion Fine Expectations flat iron. I think this came from Amazon originally. I don't remember exactly where I got this one. Another good straightener that I've used is the GVP brand, which you can get at Sally's. And it's kind of like their version of the Chi straightener, but it's less expensive because you're not paying for that name brand. But that's a really good straightener too. This is just the one that I happen to have right now. I couldn't tell you what the price point was on this because I don't remember. I've got this on, it goes up to 450 degrees. I've got it on 405 right now, just because my hair is so thick. It takes a lot and it's so curly. Like, this is with it being pulled in a bun for the last 24 hours to dry. So to help pull some of that curl out, and it's still this curly. So we're gonna get started. I do not straighten my hair because there's so much of it. A lot of people, when you see like hair tutorials, they pin up like the top half and then straighten it. If that works for you, that's great. I've been straightening my hair or curling it with a straightener for about 15 years. That's just not the way I learned, so it's not the way I do it. So maybe this works better for you. Try something different. But I just have so much hair when I do that. I end up missing sections, or it's too much going on. So I split my hair down the middle and the back, pull it all forward, and then I will just put a hair clip in this and throw it back behind so I don't even have to deal with it. I've already put heat protectant spray on here, so it kind of had a second to air dry. You don't want to put your heat protectant spray on your hair and then immediately apply the flat iron. It needs a second to kind of sit and kind of dry to your hair so your hair's not damp or anything from it. So brush through this, and then I just start with, I do sections about 1 to 2 inches, more or less, just depending on how curly that section is. And then I start as close to my root and I just keep moving. Like, I don't stop right there at the top, so you don't get that crease. And then I turn it at an angle and pull down. My hair's so coarse, guys. A flat iron does not go just straight through my hair. But that just kind of curls the end a little bit. You can definitely turn the straightener more and pull it through, and it'll give you that tighter curl. Right now, due to quarantine, my hair really needs a trim. So these loose curls kind of help hide some of those split rough ends that really need trimmed while I'm just waiting. So I don't go necessarily across the top. I kind of go from the front back. So that's just what works for me. And then I'll show you what I do as I get these hotter pieces done. Trying not to go slow, but I also don't go too fast because my hair is so thick, so curly. Like, they're just nice loose curls. I don't mind if there's still a little bit of wave and it's not perfectly straight. It just kind of it keeps the body to your hair, so it looks a little bit more natural. So that's what I do with that. And I always just kind of comb through it with my fingers. If I use a comb, I end up typically grabbing extra pieces. And I just kind of pull it out. And we're gonna speed up through the rest of this, guys, but that's all I do. I will come back at the end and show you the finished product. All right, guys, so this side I do a little bit differently. You're gonna see I'm going to section off these bangs and pull them forward and straighten those first. Just in case you're wondering, this is a wide tooth comb. It's super huge. This came from Sally's a couple years ago. I believe this one, the name is gone off of it, but it's infused with coconut oil. I don't know how much coconut oil is really in it, if it's benefiting my hair. I just know that the super wide teeth really make it a lot easier to detangle because they are so far apart, and it's a really thick, sturdy comb, so I don't ever have to worry about it breaking or anything. And I can work on smaller sections at the same time if there's any tangles that I need to detangle beforehand. I always make sure I brush through it pretty well. That way it's not frying through those knots, I guess, with the flat iron. I just go back, as you saw on this side, like there was a piece that didn't really maybe heat up as much, so it didn't straighten as well. So I will go back over and retouch those. But another reason I use such a high temperature is I don't go back over typically and redo a strand over and over again. So that's why if you're a person who does that, definitely lower your temperature because you're just going to continue to keep adding to that heat. So you don't want to do 400 degrees and then go through your hair once, go through it again. You're like doubling the heat there because that heat's still locked into your hair at the moment. So just kind of that. So the way my hair's, it's parted right here right now, but when I get done, you'll see how I typically wear it. And then, so these side bangs here, I go all the way down to my ear, pull those forward, and then I will clip this back separately just so I can focus on my bangs for right now. I brush them to the front, and then I will start at the bottom and section through those. So like I'll section. This isn't as thick down here, so I go up a little higher. And then pull down this way. It's so long, guys. These were bangs. These were bangs, and they are just growing and growing out. It is crazy. I cannot wait for these salons to reopen. Get this taken care of. My hair is also layered. Some of the layers have kind of grown out right now with quarantine, but my hair is layered. So if you're seeing how some sections are not as long as others, that's why. They're really long layers. These, honestly, these bangs are kind of pretty much the same length as the first layer of hair at this point. And almost done here, guys, with this part. Typically, it takes me about 10 to 15 minutes doing my hair this way, so it's not super crazy. Another important thing is the size of the flat iron. This is a 1.5 inches. So a 1 inch or an 1.5 inches, I find with the thickness of my hair, an 1.5 inches works better, just because it gives me a little more plate surface with my hair. The 1 inch is almost too small, but if you've got a thicker, I think they're like 2 or 3 inch plates, you're not going to be able to do this as much. This kind of basically, like, I'm not really curling. It's just kind of making it so they're not pin straight ends. It kind of hides some of the damage, to be honest. So now that I've done this piece, I'll take this clip and clip this part now. And now I can work on this part. But totally through and through my hair, about 10 to 15 minutes to do all of it. So, and it takes about, if I was to blow dry my hair, what I typically do is wash my hair at night. So if you're someone who has thick, curly, frizzy hair and you're trying to figure out what in the world to do with it, because I say all the time, my hair is a force to be reckoned with. It is a whole nother beast. Every hairstylist I've ever been to through my entire life has told me, your hair is thick, but when we get our hands in your hair, it's even thicker than it looks. They always tell me it's like the thickest hair they've ever seen. And honestly, with stress and hormone issues that I'm dealing with, I've actually been losing a lot of hair the last 6 months. So just imagine how much thicker it was. And that's kind of how I transitioned through this. From the bangs and then back into like the actual body part of my hair. I'm going to go ahead and speed this video up from here so you're not bored with me doing this. And we'll come back and talk about the finished. Alright guys, so finished product here. I think we got most of it. There might be a few places that could be gone over, but I'm not too concerned about it. I'd rather save my hair. I should have told you at the beginning of this video, you're going to notice probably that my hair is darker up here and lighter at the bottom. I had some extra hair dye left over, and with quarantine and everywhere being closed, I used that hair color to do my roots and then blended it in. So if you're noticing and going, why is her hair two different colors? That's why. So I hope this helped, guys. What I typically do to style it is I'll throw it all back. And then this part here, where that part was, I basically bring over this whole top section and just kind of play with it like this. It adds some of that extra body back here. And then I've really just got this as a part. This is all covered back here. So, and it kind of lays the way it wants to lay if I just get it back there. and let it kind of do its thing. And that's it, guys. I do not use hairspray to hold it. It's got enough weight to it that it pretty much holds itself in place. So that's just another little tip. Hairspray in my hair just dries it out and makes it super crunchy and really hard to work with. So I stopped using hairspray probably 10 years ago. It just doesn't work with my hair. So if that's something else you're kind of struggling with, that's another idea, is skip the hairspray. Try a leave-in oil, whether it's a Moroccan oil or a keratin serum that you can kind of put. My hair is really shiny, as you can see. It's dry. Don't get me wrong. My hair is dry. The straightener, though, I'm telling you, really adds some shine back into it. I don't have any kind of serum on it yet. If I was going to, I would do it after I straighten it and really just focus on like this part down, just those ends. If I get anything up too much higher, it gets really oily at the top. So I skipped that part. But this just kind of gives you an idea, guys. Just something different. You can definitely just straighten it. But like I said, this helps hide some of those dead ends that really need trimmed during quarantine. So hopefully that was helpful. Guys, we'll try to do some more of these videos for anybody who struggles with extremely thick, frizzy, curly hair. I would love to help. If you have any questions on products I've tried, products you're using currently, struggles you have, techniques, be sure to leave them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. And don't forget to subscribe to the page, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.